Are you good, sound-wise?
How are we doing, fam?
Feeling good? Feeling good?
Good.
Sound good?
Good.
That's good. Sound good. Y'all.
Everybody sound good?
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll start with my name. My name is Rob Scheer, R-O-B-S-C-H-E-R-E-R. I'm a sergeant with the Phoenix Police Department's Public Affairs Bureau. Obviously, you guys have heard from our chief. We're at the scene of an officer-involved shooting here near 87th Avenue and Bell Road. I'll give you as much information as I have, answer whatever questions I can get. First, I did want to say to our community, thank you very much for your thoughts and prayers for our officer. Hopefully you do know. If you don't, he was released from the hospital in the last couple hours and is expected to fully recover. Specific details on this incident are as forth. Around 10 o'clock this morning, detectives from our Fugitive Apprehension and Investigations Detail, which we call FADE, were in the area conducting an apprehension of an adult male. He's a known violent offender, currently has an outstanding felony warrant, and had probable cause out for 2 additional violent offenses, where those were actually perpetrated on a couple of our officers. I don't have any other specifics on that case. I can get those at a later time if they become available. This person was located in the area just to my right, at which time an apprehension was attempted. During this apprehension, this man did produce a handgun and engaged in gunfire with multiple officers. This man did fire his weapon, and multiple officers did fire their firearms. During this exchange of gunfire, one officer was struck. Again, this officer was transported to a local hospital. He is expected to fully recover and has since been released. The suspect in this incident was also transported to a local hospital. He was pronounced deceased there. This investigation, the criminal investigation, as these all go, there is a criminal investigation and an internal investigation. Phoenix Police Department will still be conducting that internal investigation relevant to today's incident. The criminal investigation will be conducted by Peoria Police Department. So I'll get you guys as much information as I can today. Once that's done, I'll defer you over to the Peoria Police Department. As in all these, it's going to take some time. We appreciate the patience from the Peoria community members, especially in this area. I know we're shutting down this location, but these investigations are going to take some time. We're going to fine-tooth comb this, make sure we gather all the evidence, and really decipher what led up to this shooting, and really narrow down exactly what occurred. At this point, I don't have any names for you. I'm hoping to be able to get that for you at a later time. Again, I'll get that out through a media advisory. And then we will still do a critical incident briefing on this within 14 days. That'll have some of that other information that we can release at that time. I'll take any questions that you guys have.
Speak about the FATE unit, what they do, how it's determined these suspects are pursued by them versus some other.
Yeah. They're our apprehension detail. They go after the violent of the most violent. I know the chief spoke to his crime reduction plan that we released last year. They're in essence, this is what they do. They go after individuals that have a violent criminal past, that have outstanding felony warrants, and with a focus on prohibited possessors. This hit all those matters. So yeah, they identify their own people that they go after. Sometimes they're given certain cases where probable cause is established from our Violent Crimes Bureau or other bureaus or other investigative details that kind of are violent in nature. They go after the worst of the worst, and they're very, very well trained. This is what they do on a day in and day out basis, is they go and catch the worst of the worst.
You mentioned that this suspect was wanted for violent crimes involving police officers.
Right.
Can you elaborate? Was it serious crimes and maybe a homicide, or what the suspect was wanted for?
Specifically, there is a felony warrant out for his arrest, and then there's one incident that included 2 officers where aggravated assault that did occur. I don't have specifics on that, but there was probable cause established for this individual for that, along with his felony warrant.
And then this doesn't change when it comes to releasing a critical incident video in the matter of, I think you said 2 weeks?
Yeah, within 14 days we will release our critical incident briefing. It'll have the details. It'll have some of that body-worn camera footage that we have, and additional details that we can release at that point.
And just for clarification, was the suspect hit, or sorry, was the officer hit by the suspect or possibly by other gunfire when officers were exchanging gunfire?
I can't give you specifics on that. What I can tell you is, at least from what we've seen on the scene, it was going to be gunfire from the suspect, not any crossfire situation or anything of that matter.
And were the officers wearing any body cameras?
There is body-worn camera footage in
And
this.
is there any relationship to this dealership with the suspect? Like, did he work there, or was this just a place where they were trying to apprehend him and it all went down?
Just a place they were trying to apprehend him.
And your guys were tailing him at that point, or these guys and gals were tailing him?
I'm not going to get into the specifics of how we got here with him. We were tracking him, and we did end up locating him and identifying him here in this parking lot.
Any more information on that aggravated assault on the police officers and when that occurred, the prior crime, the prior violence?
I don't have specifics on that. I can try to get specifics on that, and maybe include that in the media advisory if I can get down to exactly when and where that did occur. It may not be today. It may be an added deal tomorrow or something like that. But I'll try to narrow down exactly what that probable cause was for.
So this was a police pursuit or a police surveillance operation from Fate that ended in Peoria, and that's when the shootout ended up.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call it like a pursuit situation. Our fugitive team doesn't operate in marked uniforms and marked cars. They're an apprehension team, and covertness is to their advantage in these scenarios because they're dealing with the worst of the worst. And like I said, this is what they do. They're the best at it. And when dealing with individuals like this, at times they're going to attempt to perpetrate violence upon us. And unfortunately, that's what happened today.
Sergeant, anything about a second scene? And if not, can you talk about the bullet hole way over there in this building? Yeah.
So I wouldn't necessarily consider that a second scene. That's all going to be part of this scene. We did get information that there is a strike on the dealership to my left. That will obviously be part of the scene and will be, that's obviously as a result of what occurred behind me.
Do we know whose bullet ended up in the glass?
I don't yet, no. I mean, the investigation will end up being able to track exactly directionality of shots fired and things of that nature, but I won't have that right now.
How many total officers fired their weapon today?
So we had multiple at this point. We have 3 officers that fired their lethal weapon, and 1 that did fire a less lethal weapon. So in total, officially 3 shooters, but we did have less lethal option involved in that also in the apprehension.
How many officers are still here right now investigating, would you say?
So in these situations, like we said, we have 2 kind of investigations going on. The criminal element, which is Peoria Police, they obviously have their scene coverage here also. I'd estimate probably 40 or so total between the 2 agencies. And again, to the public, I'll wrap it up with this. To the public, thank you very much for your thoughts and prayers. Continue that. This is going to be a long, convoluted process. And obviously our officer still has recovery ahead of him. Thank you very much for all of that. And we appreciate our partnerships with Peoria Police Department and their response.
Can you speak just about that officer calling from the department, that kind of thing?
That'll come out officially in our critical incident briefing. I don't have specifics. I do know he's kind of in his late teens as far as in his career, but I don't have the specific number right now.
How much longer till this is opened up?
This is probably going to take upwards of 3 to 4 hours. I mean, that's what happens in these scenarios. Like you guys know, we have a bullet strike here. We obviously have a large scene behind us. It's going to take quite some time for criminal investigation, then the internal investigation to get through.
You said it already, I'm sorry. Which department is going to run the investigation?
The Peoria Police Department will do the criminal investigation. Phoenix PD will do the internal investigation. So thank you guys very much. Anything else I have, I'll kick out in a media advisory.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
This one's me. Oh my goodness, what a mess we got.